Good evening, boys.
Hello.
How are you going? We are live.
All right.
How's the pizza?
Yeah, amazing.
Good. Yeah.
Stuff.
Are you guys all ready to take on about an hour and a half of a bit of banter?
Just do it. Give it a go. Yeah.
Yes. Sweet, man. So yeah, we started out by listening to this little song you guys recorded live down at the was it down from the sewing room or something?
Yeah. I was at the sewing room on 8th of August, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It looked pretty hectic, man. Tell us a bit about that song.
Sorry?
Tell us a bit about the song, about the gig. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. I think Breaking's the second song that we properly wrote.
I mean, it was a hectic gig. Was it your first time trying that thing with the Sims where you like play it at the same time?
Yeah, so like we got that gig, we actually got the whole thing filmed, and like that was the first time that I properly I've got a synth next to my drums now, and so like that was the first time that I tried playing that while doing the drums as well.
Oh shit! So you're playing keyboards and drumming at the same time?
Yeah, so
it's proper wizardry.
Yeah, it's just more noise stuff. Like it's nothing too hectic, but
shit. Well, because I mean, it looked like you were pretty busy to begin with. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening on the drums in the first place.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just taking practice, I guess. Like I'm still slowly learning it. That was the first gig where I properly did it, and so it was cool.
Fun.
It was cool to get it.
Yeah,
filmed.
cool, man. I think the only other drummer I've seen doing that is Cairo Knife Fight. I don't know if you know them. It's
Oh yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played the synths for it though.
Yeah, he does. Well, he does a shitload of stuff, man. You know, he loops his drums live, and you know the guitarist loops his stuff, and they just bit all these layers. It's just a duo. But yeah, he plays some guitars. Sorry, he plays some keyboard as well, and loops that as well. Adds that into the whole shebang there, man.
Cool.
But crazy stuff, man. But so how long have you guys been together for?
Oh.
Yeah, well, as just maybe us four, probably like what?
I think it was November.
November. So what's that? Like?
November last year was when pretty much we got. Tommy was the last one lined up for bass.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, only about 8 or 9 months. Or so.
Yeah, still fairly fresh.
I think me and Christian were the first two that started. Like he just put up a post on Facebook, on the Band-Aid page. I think
Perth
it was.
Band-Aid.
Yeah, the Perth Band-Aid Musicians Wanted page or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I replied to that, and we started. I think it was about January last year.
Yep.
Yeah, not very long. Only about as the full thing. Yeah, only about.
And what did the ad say? Was it looking for like an octopus drummer that could play a bit of keyboard, or?
Oh well, at the time I was just looking for more experimental stuff. So I definitely was looking for someone that was more into doing not your usual just 4/4 song as well, but like time signatures, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And commitment as well was a big thing for me, and he's always been into that as well. Everyone's got to be on the same page, wanting to go full on or not. So it's really good.
Yeah, awesome.
Well.
So in regards to obviously the music, you guys are playing instrumental, which is not as you don't see that as often as the normal band with a singer and stuff. Was that a deliberate decision, or was it because you couldn't find a singer?
We could just kind of win with it, I guess.
Yeah,
but it was good. So,
yeah, I think I'm the one that pushes that the most. Not that I have a problem with vocals or anything like that. It's just I've always myself wanted to have a project that there wasn't the need to focus on the vocals, all the rest of the instrument was sort of enough itself. I think
they tell their own story.
Yeah, the collaboration with all the stuff, especially when you start doing the weirder stuff like we do with the sound, the soundscapes and the noise sections and stuff like that. You can get really creative with the stuff that you're telling, which doesn't actually need vocals behind it.
Yeah. Sometimes it would be too much, or I can see have some vocals behind our stuff.
Yeah. Can I get you to hold the microphone up a little bit higher? Because
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
sweet, man. Yeah, cool. So, but would it be on the cards to maybe get a singer in the future? Or are you guys like you're pretty keen on just keeping it instrumental?
Pretty sad.
Yeah, no, I'm
pretty
pretty sad.
instrumental, but
Yeah, I don't know about the boys,
It's
but
worked
like,
well so far.
yeah,
Yeah, sweet.
everyone's busy as well, and it's a lot of thought and like time that goes into it as well, like with transitions and stuff. So it's just fun.
And I suppose, yeah, it means you'll have another guy in the band, another one you have to have, poison the food and all that.
shoes and stuff, and yeah.
Well, we were looking at a synth player for a bit, then just Adrian picked it up, and we're like, yep, let's go for it. Like,
Yeah, well, I think we were looking for about maybe like 4 months or so for a synth player, and it just wasn't like we had some troubles. Just people kept falling through and stuff like that, so I just decided, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
got a job done right, do it yourself.
Cool, man. So what are you guys sort of like? What do you do when you aren't playing? Because I mean, you seem a bit younger than a lot of the other guys I've had on.
Okay, well, I'm at uni. I'm doing cybersecurity.
Oh wow.
That's just at Joondalup ECU. I think I'm about halfway through that or so. But then, yeah, apart from the band, I'm like into gaming. I do a bit of like Muay Thai training as well. I've sort of started getting into that. I might look at competition fighting soon.
Awesome.
But other than that, the band takes up a lot of my time. Like
that's a lot of different aspects. So I mean, so you play drums and you do cybersecurity and you can kick somebody's ass as well. That's a good mix, man.
Do a kickflip.
Oh yeah, but I can do a kickflip.
Crazy.
But yeah, just general stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm like a contract roadie as well, so like I set up shows like on the side.
Oh,
My
sick.
last show was like Tool, so I was just like setting up Tool, doing the backlining and stuff. That was pretty cool.
I can
doing
imagine,
some
yeah.
Skating as a hobby as well. Just it's a bit iffy, like being a musician and like skateboarding and hurting yourself, but you're gonna hurt yourself regardless. So like, it's just a whole different outlet.
Yeah. As long as you don't hurt your fingers, I suppose.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just need to invest in some wrist guards, I reckon. But like, yeah, as long as the music's there, it's good. Just another release. Eh?
Yeah, sweet. What about the rest of you?
I was working at like a decking shop, like selling decks, that kind of stuff. But then because of the whole coronavirus, that fell down. So I'm currently looking for a job. But other than that, it's just always been like working so I can like continue with the music in a way. So at the moment, I'm just giving it my full time to write. And we're looking to record soon as well. So it's just tightening up parts, that kind of stuff. Writing new stuff, transitions, just everything related, I guess.
Awesome. Love it.
And I used to work as a swim teacher, but I'm now full-time studying my final semester in high school teaching. So people are usually quite surprised when I say I'm like in one of these sort of bands and I'm a high school teacher.
What do you mean one of these sort of bands? They play rock music.
Yeah, exactly. Apart from that, I'm looking to take up kite surfing, but I've got my first lesson booked, but apart from that, that's about it. And then this band, and I've got another band, but yeah, just bands.
It's funny though, like when you mention like when you have to tell people that you're in one of these kind of bands. Like, do you reckon there is some sort of stigma sort of be playing in a rock band?
Yeah, it's metal, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but like rock or metal, I suppose like music in general. I think it's one of those things that not many in-laws would like. If their daughter brings home a guy and said, "Oh yeah, I'm in a rock band," I said, "Oh okay," you know what I mean? Like,
it's a lot like nice. It's a lot easier now. There's not so much of a stigma.
Yeah, I feel like there's
but
so much people looking for just an alternative to the mainstream media music. I feel like there's a lot of people just going to like local gigs nowadays, and a lot of people are getting to it. Just like weird stuff, and we're happy to do that.
Yeah,
Well-
that's whole perspective, hey? Like, just, like, playing the stage and, like, it's crazy.
Does
Just,
that-
like,
But so, how many gigs have you played up until now? Because I've seen you had quite a few shows over the last couple of months.
Been a while.
Like,
a
we've-
couple now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've smashed it pretty hard. So since November, so when we got Tommy, it was literally, I think we had maybe one or two jam. I think,
Yeah.
no, we had one jam with him before we were like, yeah, we're doing our first gig.
Yeah.
Just throwing him in the deep end.
yeah.
And then I think, so yeah, since November up till like, I think it was February when everything shut down, we did like 5.
Mm.
And then when everything opened again, I think our first one was April.
Yeah,
Or,
we've
I think it was
had about 5 or
April or
6
so.
since then,
We've
yeah.
had like another 5 or 6. So we've done about like a good 15 or 16 so far.
With those gigs, though, like, it was a weird transition, like, the phases of COVID. So we watched from, like, seated to, like, standing,
Yeah.
and then, like, still walls made of lava. So no one wants to
Yeah.
come up and, like, because we're so out there, people either love you or hate you. Like, it's just, who cares? Like, we're still doing it for ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I suppose again, like if you are like if you came straight out of like a couple of months of not really being able to play, I suppose you take whatever whatever comes around. Yeah.
Yeah, it was whack.
I mean, it was pretty cool. Like, even though when, like, after everything shut down and things did start opening back up, like, a couple of the places that we did play, they were packed. Like, they definitely weren't COVID approved. Like, they were wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder, more than some of the gigs we've played at before.
Yeah.
And that was just simply, I think, because, yeah, a lot of people were trying to get out.
Yeah, just cooped up and like, let's go, watch a gig.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man. So how did they respond to your music?
Getting a lot of positive.
Yeah, it's been,
You get some good feedback, yeah?
yeah. I mean, at first it was pretty slow.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I think that's just always the case
Yeah.
when you're starting out. You know what I mean? It's hard to get people come to your shows. But yeah, now it's getting to the point where, like, pretty much after every show, we're getting a lot of really good feedback. We're getting a lot of just people come up to us and just like, yeah, that was sick. Like, so,
Yeah.
yeah, asking for merch and stuff like that, but we don't have any yet.
Oh man, that's yeah. Like especially if you're playing all these packed venues, man. It's such a cool thing to sort of have on the side to make a bit of money. You can pay for some recordings and all that.
And also referred to as well, like, oh, this band, like,
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, it's always good. Yeah, I try and wear a different band shirt every time I chat to someone just to mix it up a bit. But it's also one of those things, as a musician, you kind of want to represent a little bit.
yeah.
So
of course, you got to build a community as well, like,
absolutely. But it's also cool, especially like being a local band on the upcoming scene. It's always like cool, like to support each other, like go to each other's gigs with each other's shirts and all that. But have you guys got some merch ordered, or is that in the works?
Well, pretty much soon. Like, we're just working on like the actual design,
Yeah.
designs and stuff. We're just trying to settle on them because we're all pretty picky, I guess. And we all like little bits about different things, and so then trying to get them all.
It's coming together. So.
Yeah, it's coming together real soon. So, like, I think definitely by our next show, we should have some merch ready. Which I won't
Sweet,
talk
man.
about the date yet because it's not too confirmed.
Yeah.
But by our next show, I think we should have some merch ready. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So is there anything else you guys are doing sort of in regards to try and make some money back? That's again another conversation I love to have with bands, also to see how they try to operate in regards to treating it like a business, or sort of having ambitions of potentially being able to actually make some money from it.
I don't really mind investing my money into it. It's just like you got to go into the mindset of like investing time and money, because that's what it's going to cost, and like, yeah, if just let the music do the talk at the end of the day,
Yeah, I
like,
feel like we're all happy just like putting in our own money, not making anything back for a fair bit, even if that means, we don't get any money back, but we're happy with the final product in a way.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, to be honest, we're not too interested in making bulk money for now. I think our plan is to like from our source of income has pretty much been from the gigs that we've been doing, because
Yep.
we don't have any recorded material yet. It's not like people can buy our stuff or like any merch or anything like that. So it's been pretty much solely the gigs so far that we've started to get like a decent amount of money for.
But definitely the merch is going to be something to help with just making.
But yeah, I think that's the way we're going to look at it. Is like anything we put our money towards, like merch and stuff like that, will then just come back to go towards
More
recording.
recording.
And then money that we get back from the recording will go back for more recording, or touring, or things like that. I think.
Yeah, just constantly investing.
Well, I don't.
time
Yeah,
and
I mean,
money.
I don't think we're trying to do it to make ourselves rich, sort of thing. If the band can fund itself from our gigs and stuff.
Exactly. And I think that's a very, very important like starting stone or starting step, like to make sure that at least you aren't just putting yourselves in a massive debt. Like you have just some sort of idea of how to make just a little bit of money, as you're saying, just so at least you can sort of break even to begin with, and sort of see if there is anything to potentially invest back in and take it to the next level and all that stuff. But tell me a bit about the recording process, because from what I could understand, you've got a couple of songs coming up
soon. Yeah. So we've done like a couple of other little things. So there's that video from the start. That was we got a whole gig we got filmed. So at some point soon we'll probably release that or some more footage of that. But there's another thing on our Facebook page that was during when all the venues were shut during the whole COVID lockdown. We've got a permanent room at Foxhole Studios that's in Bayswater.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's awesome place. It's just got a bunch of different rooms and stuff, and we've got like one of the permanent rooms there. And so we got a guy from 360 Visual Productions. Check him out too on Facebook. Like he's a cool guy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he like came, did it because of the whole Corona thing. Did it for free for us. Came and filmed. It's like a 360 video.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so that with the recording, the audio side of that, you can sort of see in the corner next to my drums. That's like it's my audio interface, and so like I've got like all the microphones running around the room, and I did all the mixing and recording of that, and that was just like that was lots of hours of just like trial and error and research and doing that sort of stuff. We've got what's his name? Studio 500 guy.
Yeah, I know his name.
Mike.
But that's awesome to hear though. Like you're just like throwing yourself out in the deep end, trying to record some stuff, and actually as you're getting the content together. Did you find that a bit of a challenge, or was it all right?
Yeah, like it was definitely difficult. At first, it was definitely difficult.
Everything is.
Yeah. A good friend of mine, Ron, from a Perth band, Tangled Thoughts of Leaving, he does like a lot of mixing and stuff. He runs his own studio, and so like a lot of the time I was asking him for tips and stuff like that. So he was super helpful doing all the mixing and stuff. But yeah, like it got to the point where like I think I'm somewhat okay at it now. Like I can roughly do our stuff, but it's definitely getting to the point where we need to go out and get some like proper stuff recorded.
But so have you picked up some gear yourself that would sort of help you be able to maybe track some of the stuff at home?
Yeah. So like at the moment we could probably start tracking. Well, we could pretty much track all of it ourselves. It's more just the quality that we want to put out. You know what I mean?
Recording programs to do demos and stuff at home, but yeah, it's mainly just like getting the best quality we can. So going to like run probably right to record and do that stuff there. But yeah, we all definitely like still try and do demos and record ourselves at home just to get the knowledge as well, learn a bit as we go.
Yeah, yeah. Like Chris said, we all have our own so we all have our own interfaces just to do our own stuff, Like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, well, it's like it also it really like it helps you sort of shape your music before you go into the studio and start paying lots of money there to actually get something recorded. Like you'll be much more sort of like a tight unit, and obviously like it gives you the extra insight to how that side of the glass is working as well. Like when you're on the other side of the glass there at the recording desk.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I actually find it like especially with YouTube and so many tutorials out there. It's should actually be all right to track a lot of the stuff to a very decent standard at home. Like if you are doing your guitars and bass and stuff like that. So definitely throw the mixing out over to someone who knows what they're doing. But I reckon you potentially could do quite a bit at home again if it is a matter of sort of doing something to a budget.
I think
a lot of people are doing that anyway.
Yeah, I think like because more the recording side of things we've all sort of recently gotten into, like within the last couple of months. And I think that's like it's been a big help, especially for our sort of music, because it is pretty like well, yeah, it's experimental and complex. It gives us all each a good way to like be able to sit apart and get our own ideas down and hear it in such a cleaner way. Because it's like, I don't know, it's a very different thing trying to write in the studio when you're with all four of us, like, and everyone's trying to play over one person's idea. As
Versus
to,
one.
Don't forget the microphone. Just there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
as opposed to like someone just sitting at home and being able to actually go through and listen to it. And so it's been really cool, like that we've all sort of got it now. We can all like track our ideas and share them between us before we come to the studio and stuff.
Yeah,
Which I think is going to help big time for when we go down to actually record. I think for us, like, we could do all the tracking and stuff, but I think like it's more just we want to focus on actually writing the music and like writing and performing it rather than having to work on having to capture it and record it ourselves to a good quality. I think it's more just like we're just recording demos for ourselves sort of thing to share around, and then
make sure we're happy with it before we go and try to do it for real in a way, I guess.
Yeah. So what would be the plan? Would that be to record a single or an EP or a full album? Because that's, again, it's so funny to get people's opinions, because they're like, literally, everybody is usually set on one of those three options permanently. So it's always interesting to hear I'd love to hear your thoughts and the reasons why.
Yeah. Well, because we've had so many songs now. We've been done for like 8 months now, but like there's quite a few amount of songs we've gone through that we might not decide to put on, say, the next EP or recording we're doing, but say the demos we've just done. But with the recording, sorry, I forgot where I was going with this. With the recordings now, probably.
I think like at first our plan was to originally release like one big EP with the tracks that we had, but I think now like it's sort of just gotten to the point where the songs that we're writing are just a bit more, they're just like a lot stronger songs, and so fitting them onto an EP with the other earlier songs just wouldn't quite sound right. So I think now the way we're going to have to do it is release a couple of singles, which that'll be soon. Like that song, the video that at the start of the clip, but we've got that recorded as a single. So we'll probably release that, like, I don't know, in the next week or two.
Oh, sweet.
And then the track you've got at the very end, that'll, like, you'll be playing at the end, you'll hear it for the first time. And that's the other one that we've got recorded. That's going to be another single. I think
basically just like use most of the old songs.
I think we're going to release the older songs
as singles, and then do the newer stuff as a whole EP that can transition well together.
Yeah, good call. Wow, man. I mean, you guys have really been doing a lot, man. If you've only been playing together for what, almost a year? Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Far out. Like, you've got a couple of singles, you've got an EP coming out, and you've played a shitload of shows already. That's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, I think we all wanted to hit it hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the other boys, like, those three are in another band, Broken Hymns. Check them out too, they're real sick.
Yeah.
So, like, they were already sort of gigging and stuff like that. I was out of the music scene for a while before I joined this band, but I was definitely, like, super motivated to start gigging, and so like that's sort of half the reason why we threw Tommy in the deep end when we got, as soon as like we got him lined up. We're just like, yeah, no, that's it. We're just, it's time to just get them going. So.
And the intensity, like straight off the gate as well. When I first joined, I was like, fuck, they're not fucking around. Like, gig straight away, and like just like the songs themselves, I was like, far out, Russell Sprout, like
The pressure's on. Pressure's on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
No, that's good, man. So I suppose, you know, it shows that you're dedicated. You know, you get in straight away and you're onto it.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, you're still here, so you must have done something right.
Yeah, it's good because we've definitely, like, now that we're starting to build a bit more of a sort of name for ourselves, and people, like, I guess within the music scene, I guess, are hearing a bit more about us. The feedback's been really good, so it's starting to pay off. It's cool.
Well, that's it. You know, there's so many ways of doing it. Obviously, gigging is probably the one that most people sort of lean towards, because, you know, that's why you rehearse, that's why you write songs, is you want to go out and present them. But again, another very important thing, which again you are on top of as well, is your content. So again, you've shot this 360 video, which again is very something you don't see very often. So that's a very, very cool piece of content. You've got this concert that you're gonna chop up, which again is really cool. It's always great to see some professionally shot footage as well, and obviously music, and you got photos. I think was one of the things that was lacking a little bit. Because
we just want the music to do talking, you know, like that's why we're doing instrumental as well.
Yeah, that's why half the reason we don't have a front man, because it's more, we want you to listen to the music and focus on that.
And then you interpret it how you will, because like, it's definitely like
our faces aren't too important, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think
What
that's
about?
why I try to focus on like the videos and stuff as well, is because, like, I don't know, it's just having like the different types of content is sort of good, especially in this day and age. It's not like it's just CDs anymore. A lot of it is becoming like videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, people view with listen with their eyes as well. You know.
Yeah,
For sure.
Nowadays that I love is just from like recommended on YouTube as well, you know. So
yeah.
So how are you treating the social media side of things? Are you sort of upping your game there?
That's where I'm lacking. I wish if I had like a time machine and go back, like just do like media and all that stuff, because like, yeah, I suck at like promotion. And to be honest, like I just focus too much.
You're not the only one, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's, yeah, I think like I do most of the social media stuff. Like I run the whole page and stuff like that. So all the comments and stuff, that's pretty much all me.
The wizard.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I just try and think about it the way that what I would want to see from bands and stuff, and so that's what I try and put out. I try and not spam heaps of posts all the time. I don't try and do lots of stuff on it. I just I don't know, just do the important announcements. I don't know. The social media is not too much like, it's more just like a place for people to find out about us, I guess, or yeah.
But shit, man, you must be doing so much, man. Because again, if you're telling me, so if you're at uni doing cyber security, and you're like you want to do some fights as well in kickboxing or Muay Thai or whatever it was, and you're learning to play keyboards while you're playing drums, and you're also managing the Facebook page, and you're also trying to learn how to record stuff and create content, man. Like,
and you've got he mixed that 360 video as well, and also hooked up the 360 video, and he also skateboards.
Dude, when's the last time you slept, man? Like that sounds like that would be a full-time job.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to try to keep busy, I guess. Like,
No, but it's good busy. It's awesome, man. Like you're doing stuff that's obviously stuff you're very passionate about.
yeah, yeah, I try.
That's awesome, man. I love it. How do you find time to do all of it though? Like it's I want to learn that skill.
Like at the moment, because I'm not working, that makes it a lot easier. Because I'm just pretty much studying full time.
But that's a job too, studying full time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I just do stuff. Yeah, there's enough time to do everything. Like, yeah.
That's look, I'm impressed. It's very rare that you find someone who's got that many balls up in the air at the same time. Like it's it's impressive, man.
Trying to surround myself with people like that as well. Like this mate up on the farm, like Jeffrey, he has a routine. He wakes up like 2 hours before he needs to work up on the farm, but he like wakes up and practices at like 3 a.m. and then goes and works the rest of the day, and that's how he gets his practice in. It's just like people like that, you know. You just gotta like take your hat off to, just like you're doing it, man. You got the same goal, and like you just gotta respect that, like, because it's pretty rough out here, you know. Like we're all vulnerable, like just giving our music out there at the end of the day, because it's like these are our babies, like yeah.
Yeah, man. But that's it. Like you just gotta fit it in somewhere. Again, if you wanna achieve your goals, you gotta be able to do something to pursue them.
Yeah. Well, before you know it, it's all in place as well. Like if you made the first initial step, it's just like just keeps going up. If you're doing it right and like you love what you're doing, like everything seems to just fall in place. Or you just get a wizard and hope the best.
So again, I don't know. Like sometimes when you're holding the microphone in one way, it's really really clear audio, but then other times I don't know what happens. But then sometimes
we'll just have to like take turns. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, all good. All right, let's try and have a chat. Look, I'm super keen to hear a bit about your influences, because again, I don't talk to very many instrumental bands. I've actually only had one other instrumental band on before, which was a band from New Zealand called Ibu. So I'm really sort of keen to hear about like how you sort of draw your influences, and also how you write your songs. If you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah. I mean, my influences. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Like they range from a lot of stuff. Like,
Pressure's up.
yeah, it's hard to just like name a couple of people. It's just, yeah. I mean, there's a couple. So like, Tangled Thoughts of Leaving's definitely like one of my biggest ones. They're a local Perth band.
Yep.
Amazing band. Other influences like Ocean Size, they're really cool as well. Instrumental wise, like who else? Like Sleep Makes Waves, they're really cool. They're from the eastern states of Australia. They're big influence.
Yeah. I've seen them pop up a couple of times.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Datura. You gotta be
Datura, yeah.
Oh,
It's like Datura is a really old, like from the early 2000s. I think it was Russian, German. It's like a German band they put out one EP of like 6 or 7 songs, but like to this day I still listen to it because it's so good.
Who were they called again? Sorry, I got to try and check that.
Datura, Daturah. Datura.
Check out Vertex by them.
Yeah, like one of the songs I can think is Vertex, or
It's got a dial breakdown.
yeah, B sharp is a good one.
B flat.
Oh,
Cool.
sorry, B flat. Yeah, they're a really cool instrumental band.
Awesome.
But super old, yeah. ISIS, yeah. Earthside. Fuck, there's so many. Like, there's too many to just sort of name. Like, but on the same side of it, like, I'm also into quite heavy electronic stuff. So I think that's going to come into play with the synths and stuff like that. a couple of like Vessels, for example. That's a really cool band to check out. They're from the UK. They started being a post-rock band, again instrumental. I think they did like 1 or 2 tracks with some vocals, but mostly instrumental and really cool techie post-rock stuff. But then now they do like really techie post-rock electronica, I guess.
Wow.
It's full-on electronica club music. They play festivals and everything, but it's still odd time signatures. It's still like big 7-8 minute song, world building. It's really, really cool stuff. And
Nice,
then
man.
like, the guitarists and drummers, like they've got like crazy electronic pedal boards and like heaps of stuff set up. So like the electronic side of stuff, like I'm definitely into a lot of that stuff, which I think will help now that I'm getting into the synths as well.
How did you come across them? How did you find them?
Vessels, I think came across them because they opened for Ocean Size once. Like,
Okay.
and I just watched one of the videos that they did of that, and yeah, after that I just checked them. I think that was way back in high school.
Also, so was that a video or was it a show you went to?
No, I didn't go there. No, I don't
Okay.
think.
So it was a,
I was spewing. Ocean Size is like one of my all-time favorite bands, and the only time they came to Perth was about 3 months before I turned 18, so I didn't get to see them. Oh, I was fucking devastated. Like, yeah, and then they broke up. I think it was about a year after that. So yeah, I
oh
was
no.
yeah, but no, I just saw Vessels. I think that was just like a YouTube video they opened for them or something. Like, I can't even remember. I don't know, it was so long ago now. Yeah.
Cool, man. But look, I mean, I've written them all down. That's all bands except for Sleep Makes Waves. It's all bands I haven't heard about before, so I'll definitely be checking them out.
Oh man, yeah, that's like trying to just narrow them down. I could go on for so long. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll pass it.
Okay, he is getting me started.
Yeah,
Alright. I love me some Karnivool. I love Tool. Love those, like, a lot of grooves for sure. Like, just anything that sends me or just gives me a feeling. Yeah, Tesseract. Amos from Tesseract. He's a good bassist, holds it together. Like, just somehow like keeps everything up.
Did you go to the show when they came to Perth?
Sorry.
So,
Did
Tool,
you?
yeah, we watched.
No, Tesseract. Tesseract came to Perth about 2 years ago.
Real?
2
No.
days ago.
No, 2 years ago.
Oh, I thought you said 2 days
No,
ago.
no. They were here about I think that's about 2 years ago. They played at the Capitol.
No, I wasn't into him at that point, but like,
oh, it's too late.
yeah,
Oh, dude, that was one of the best and tightest shows I've seen here, man.
real.
Yeah.
It's pure.
A lot of the time, I don't find about gigs like until later. Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, it's a lot of like, I don't know. For some reason, I hear a lot more about local shows than I do about big international acts that are touring and stuff, which is strange.
I think they came about. It wasn't too long after they released what's the last album? The Polaris album.
Oh yeah.
And then no, it was after they released Sunder. Because they played all the songs from that as well. You know, they played like Juno and King and all those ones. Absolutely, they slaughtered the whole. Like, I'm pretty sure it was so loud as well. It was packed.
As soon as I saw that double thumb picking, I was like hooked, because I've like developed my own type of like sweep picking, let's say, with my fingers.
Nice.
Flamingo picking, whatever you want to call it, well, whatever I should call it. But like, as soon as I saw that double thumb picking, like so clean and so effortless, I was like, yes, I'm onto that. Like, it's in the new song for sure. Like, onto it. Like, I was just like, I cannot, like, I need to try this. Like, you know, like, it's amazing.
But they also, but they make look like when they play Tesseract, when they're playing, they make it look so effortless, man.
Yeah. So to me,
it's annoying, isn't it? It's like, well, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, like I get it though. Like, it's just like, you're a legend. Like,
but they also obviously they play, you know, they play big shows, they play all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I love Jono from Karnivool as well. Massive shout out. Like,
oh yeah, Karnivool is brutal, man.
And he like back to Tesseract, Amos, he uses the same Alpha Omega as Jono, you know. So like, just that pedal, that tone is like what I want to achieve. I'm like, oh, I need it in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Karnivool on next level too, man. What they're doing both live and on in the studio is. It's like just all right. I give up.
They are all like individually like fucking amazing.
It's sorcerers, man.
So, yeah, I'll chat the mic on. What are your influences?
I don't know. It's hard to like narrow them down, but like there's a lot of like Gojira, Mastodon kind of stuff.
Yes.
Monument, just anything that seems a bit experimental, a bit out there. I've always been like a bit more grounded to, but I've always loved bands also like Linkin Park, Nirvana. Like I always go back to that on like car trips when putting something on the radio. I put whatever on, like Radiohead as well, just like chill bands like that I've always been into. So yeah, a bit of everything really.
Got some whack stuff like Future People Wizards.
Future People Wizards, some like crazy stuff.
It goes on the hunt sometimes. You're like, Chris, where you been, mate? Been worried sick.
It's so cool you mentioned Mastodon, man. I've got a little fun story for you there, man. I can't remember if we played or if it was one of our friends' band who played back, and I think that was like early 2000s, 2001, 2002 back home. I'm from Denmark originally, Denmark, Europe, not the one down south. Okay. And we had this gig like a small little venue, probably 300 or 400 people capacity in back in my hometown, and they were there, so they were playing for like a half full venue, just like they just started out. I think that was after they released the first album. They played like March of the Fire Ants and all those. But it was so cool, man. They were just like these young kids from the States, man, and then they're huge now, man.
Yeah, I mean, like they've grown so much, they've expanded in their sound to so many levels, but still has that remission kind of sound, like still aggressive and stuff. I reckon they've done really well for themselves.
Oh, 100%.
There you go, man.
Influences, it's hard not to say something that's already been said since I've gone last, but I do like some wackier gear like Dillinger Escape Plan. They go pretty hard. We're spewing that we didn't get to see them live because they've broken up now, but if you haven't heard of them, it's definitely worth going checking out.
Yeah.
A lot of my sort of music background was sort of from like a bit math rocky, which was kind of ironic because I studied to be a maths teacher. But but like bands like Polyphia and Chon, and one of my personal favorites, Animals as Leaders, just like all those instrumental.
Abasi,
weird type mixture. Abasi.
Yeah.
Tosin just is like the god of guitar in my eyes. Just the way he does like those fun pickings, double slap. I don't know what it is. It's just insane. But we definitely, I feel like, take inspirations with terms of time signatures, because some of the time signatures that we mess around with are pretty out there compared to what you hear most of today. Like the song that we started with, I think, is in 13/4 or something crazy. Breaking like 13/4. Yeah, so just something completely out there. But yeah, I've spoken too much. I'll pass it back on to Adrian.
Cool, man. I must admit, I didn't even pick up on that, man. I gotta listen to the single when it comes out. I gotta listen back to the to the clip again, because I love all these time signatures. And again, a lot of the bands you mentioned are obviously very good at that. Tool, Tesseract, Animals as Leaders, Karnivool. So that's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to hearing some of the other tracks as well, man. So in regards to
I think a lot of the earlier ones were like the odd time, or the weird time signatures that we've done are a bit more subtle, like to notice. They're not very jarring, if that makes sense. It's sort of I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I think with the newer stuff, I think like the way that we're writing time signatures and the way they're fitting together is a lot cooler. I think we're just getting better at it, and so I don't know.
So, but so in regards to sort of making new songs and writing new songs, what's your work method or your ethics there? Like, is it like, are you creating something together, or does someone come with a riff? Or again, like I see a lot of the high end bands actually, like we're talking like Tesseract and stuff. A lot of that is actually done, almost like in MIDI. So they write all the rhythms and then take it to the studio later. Is there a specific way that you guys operate?
So for me, when it comes, it's sort of hard for drums, I guess, because I don't know, for me, it's hard to write drum parts, I guess. I can write like sections of drums, or I can write beats that sound cool, but for me, it's hard to just like be like, all right, I'm going to write an entire song of just drums, because you know what I mean? I don't know how to start it, or like, I mean, like there's different, there's lots of other drummers and stuff that I know that do solo stuff where you can play a whole, like a just drum kit and do a song and stuff. But I think for the stuff that we're writing, it doesn't quite work that way. So like while I work on my own beats and cool little patterns and stuff like that, I think for me, when it comes to writing for the band, it happens when like they either just send me little videos or little clips of their ideas and stuff, and then I start putting the patterns behind it in my head and stuff like that. And then when we get together at the studio, I think for me, when it comes for writing, a lot of it is like improvised. It's just literally being there and doing it in the moment and feeling it sort of happen. Yeah. That's just drum wise, but then when it comes to like keyboard sort of stuff, like the synth stuff that I've been fucking around with, a lot of that's more just me sitting at home, sort of hitting a note and then fiddling with all the little controls and what it does and learning it that way. So I think that's a bit more of a like sit down and sort of work it out note by note process.
Yeah.
The drums, the drum writing is more natural. I think it just happens sort of in the studio or just from the little ideas that they send.
Just keep repeating it as we jam through it and stuff.
Yeah, we just sort of keep going over it, and then until we get like the right bits or like what sort of fits that sort of riff the best, sort of thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yep. Before I forget, just while we're talking about drums and our time signatures and writing drums and stuff, have you seen or have you heard Lepreux's "Sky Is Red"? The Sky Is Red. Yeah,
Lepreux. Yeah.
Have you seen the drum playthrough?
Transcription. Yeah. I've seen like the notation of it as well.
That his drum playthrough video is probably the funniest and most impressive drum playthrough video on the internet. I think he breaks or he drops like 2 or 3 drumsticks as he's playing the song, and just picks another one up and keeps playing and stuff. And it's like,
and he doesn't lose. Yeah, it's like tight as fuck. Yeah, it's so good.
He's just an animal, man. It's depressing to watch.
All the time, like during rehearsals, and you can see me fumbling over my drum kit trying to catch it, or then I've got to like get the one out the back. But yeah, no, he's a machine.
Yeah, fucking next level stuff, man. But no, it's cool to hear that you guys are sort of operating a bit more organic. Like you are sort of doing it as a whole and trying stuff out.
Yeah, talk about how you guys write shit.
I always get chucked in the deep end, so yeah, I just play a field and like practice, and like come back and like just do what I practice with the boys, like the garage, and then we put all that as a whole, like when we go to rehearse at the studio itself with a room that's like catered to sound. And right, actual setup as well. My setup's currently like messing with me, like to pull up my pedal board today. That was annoying. Yeah. But yeah, it's just practice. Like you got to. It's just Or it's like you lose it. Hey, like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, I guess for me, the way of writing's always been, I've always had like a looper pedal. That's always been like my first pedal that I've had in a way. So that's always helped me with like just being able to put something down, even though I didn't have someone else to jam with, and just being able to fuck around with other shit, see if it works or not on top. And so that's the way I think it we've written the songs the most. It's just me trying to like come up with a little riff and then showing the guys, and then them trying to add their own little tastiness on top, just making it all that it's not just me anymore. It's just the whole of us putting into the song.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the same thing. It's just like practicing a lot, trial and error, finding what works, what doesn't, and yeah, just playing a lot, I guess.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Just for myself, like I go to the garage. Like I'm almost Christian's roommate at this point. I probably spend more nights sleeping at the garage than I do in my own bed. It's not good, but what's it called? A lot of Christian does tend to write like the basis of the song, and I find I just stem off his ideas. Christian just comes up with the most wacky stuff, and then I have to try and put my bits on top. But a lot of it stemmed off his ideas, but again, trying to add my own influences in there as well.
Sweet. And then eventually you just got to put that onto a recording. So, and that's usually where everything gets even more trickier when you can really try and set an experiment and layer everything.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nah, man. It'd be good to hear what you guys put in on a studio recording, because so far you've only done live recordings except for the track we're going to hear at the end. Is that right?
That's right. Like we've just done demos ourselves at home, like going part by part, and try to like write as we go, like we've been doing lately at the garage and stuff. But we haven't really released any demos, and we're still yet to go and fully record as like the whole EP the way we want it.
But that's okay. You haven't even been playing for a year. That's so impressive, man.
Like, we don't want to like slack, Like if like gigs are coming and stuff, we got to keep putting as much effort back,
Yeah, before we get a second wave or something, we have to go back.
You never know, man.
What do you reckon about the whole COVID stuff, though?
Well, conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I mean, like when it first just happened, it was like really crazy. Like nothing like this happened since I've been alive.
No, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
What for us at least, I think we all just like took it as there's no other reason that we shouldn't just be rehearsing as much as we can. So I think that's what we did, and it paid off. I think as much bad stuff happened, that was one good thing that happened back in a way.
Yeah, it's funny how people are sort of dealing with it in different ways. But the thing is, I mean, you can obviously grab the opportunity to actually invest time in something that again can either pay back, or you can start learning other stuff. Start learning how to track, shoot videos, create content, and all that stuff. And so that's awesome that you guys have sort of been a bit more proactive on that part.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's probably going to sound pretty bad, but me personally, like, I think, especially in WA, we've had it really lucky, just because of
100%. Yeah.
Like, just how well we handled it here. And like, this is probably what's going to sound bad, but like, as a band, COVID was probably one of the best things that happened to us. Just because, like, it gave us the time to really stop. Again, it's sort of shit, but we pretty much all lost jobs because of it. And so, like, it gave us that time to just write the music and really focus on that. And then on the other side of it, there was just like, because we were in WA and things started opening and we did so well here, there was just so many opportunities that happened for us as a band because of it. Like for example, the 360 video, the guy did it all for free because of the whole Corona thing. It was just to help us out, to get his name out there, to get our name out there, sort of thing. Another thing we had planned was like it was a thing called Wave House Studio Sessions. That was down. It was at a place called Wave House in Yallingup. It's a bed and breakfast that you can just hire. But a guy called Glenn Baker, who runs Shutter Speed Media, he's the guy that did the filming from the footage of the clip at the start. He had that. He basically booked that whole venue out for, I think it was about 2 or 3 months, and was running like a live stream from there. So he would basically get a band to come down and then set up in the in the studio and do a live stream for like all their fans and stuff like that. And that was one of the things we had booked in, but then because of the whole when everything opened back up in WA, the owners of that place decided to start doing the bed and breakfast again, and so they had to cancel all of that. But that's sort of how we got into getting him to come do the filming for us as well. For the he came to another gig, not the sewing room one, but the Lucy's gig that we did. And he took like a couple of little like preview clips and some photos and stuff like that. And the little sample clips were just amazing. And so that's why we decided to get him to come and film like that full set. So I think for like, yeah, as a band, like COVID is probably one of the best things that happened to us, hey? Because yeah, and like as
that's awesome.
With the gigs that we've done coming back out of it, because everyone is just getting back out there. There's so many more people at our shows, and so a lot more people are hearing our stuff, which is then in turn obviously being better for us because we're getting all the good feedback. So,
look, it's so good to hear, because again, it just shows that you've sort of been on the forefront, and you've sort of actually approached it with like a proactive mindset and saying, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna actually take this opportunity while we have all this free time, we actually can't do anything else." So good to hear, man. So good to hear.
Yeah.
So what's
the thing for the 360 video? That was why we did it, because like we couldn't do any shows, and we had done 5 or 6, and we were just like itching to keep playing. We wanted to keep doing shows, and so I was just trying to think of one way that we could do a show, and like I was just trying to think of like we could get someone to come and set up a camera and film in our room, but then that would just look like anything else. And then Skull Cave, I think it was like a couple of years ago, they did a 360 video of one of their songs, and so like that gave me the idea to just fuck it, let's just do an entire set inside our room, and so like that can be it's like a mini gig for the fans without actually having to do a gig. So
that's a brilliant idea. I love it. I love it. Let's write that down here. What about the future though? So from here, like you've barely played together for a year now. What are you doing in 3 years? What are you doing in 5 years, you reckon? You got any plans? Ambitions?
I think the next thing for me is obviously recording, like getting some proper professional stuff recorded, which we're gonna go do with Ron from Tangled. Like definitely set on doing that with him, so we'll be doing that soon. But then like long term wise, I think my biggest goal for the band is to tour Europe, just because this sort of music is a lot more it's a lot more approachable over there. It's got a lot more of a following over there, and so
a lot more people.
Yeah, a lot more people. But yeah, that's definitely something I think my aspiration for the band is to start doing some Europe tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, sick. Good crowd. Like as you said, like look, there's so many opportunities in Europe. I mean, of course there is a lot more people, but there's also everybody is right there. You can jump into a car and you can drive 2 hours and you're in another country. You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Yeah, you can do like 3 shows in 3 countries in a day if you really like, if you drive quick enough.
Yeah. If you plan it right, you could.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's my biggest plan, I think, is to do like obviously stepping stones. We'll have to do like probably a WA tour first, and then Eastern States, and then move our way up. But like I think that's definitely something we're all keen to do, is like slowly build it and get those sort of big tours eventually. Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, I hear a lot of bands sort of saying that. So I said, before we go overseas, we have to go to the Eastern States first. And I'm like, why? Why do we have to go over and play in Sydney and Melbourne? Like, is that really necessary unless there's a demand?
Yeah, well, that's right. Unless we're like asked for it, I don't think it's something we're gonna be trying to like plan until we know we can do it, sort of thing. That's why I think we're trying to do this so organically, is just slowly get it out there, build the name for us, and then if people want us to come, then we're definitely happy to do that,
But you can always try and make people want you to come. Like again, by that I know that's the whole marketing side of things. We got to do some stuff online and actually trying to push, get some ads happening and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because every time I hear people sort of talking about the East Coast, I'm like, shit, you're in Perth. It's going to cost you like a fraction of, it's cost you a lot less just to go to Bali. Like set up some shows in Indonesia, man. Like actually get some ads over there, and people over there would go nuts, man.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
I still need to get my passport personally. Like,
Got plenty of time, man. You aren't flying anytime soon.
Yeah, well, not anytime soon.
Yeah, but that's why I want to do it as well. Like, it's how I've always seen it. It's like touring with music, like, or just traveling with music. Like, yeah, I want to experience food as well. Like, yeah, I'm missing out on some good food.
Well, just keep playing. You're gonna tour Europe, man. There'll be a ton of food over there, man.
Yeah, that's how it's going down.
Absolutely, man.
I think it's the same as you guys.
Yeah, it's
like
just-
touring, like visiting the world with music is like the main goal, I guess. You know, other than just keep writing ourselves, you know, because like I'm really happy with just what we have in terms of just getting back from the writing itself, you know, just like being able to make something we're all happy with. That's something I want us to keep doing for sure, you know, as well. Other than that, not much else. I guess like keep recording as well, you know, trying new things.
Yeah, just like
Oh, look at him or her. Who is it? Him. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful.
yeah.
No.
Nice.
I've got another one.
He's the vocalist.
Yeah, he's the All right, let's go back here. Come on. Sorry.
No, that's like it's amazing to hear you guys are sort of like pretty set on trying to go places. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, well, I think one of the biggest things, like as Christian put with at the very start of it when he put the post up on Facebook, one of the biggest things he said was commitment was a big thing for him. And so I think for all of us, that's been like a big thing. I think if we all when we came together as a band, we all just decided if we're going to be putting our time into it, we're going to take it seriously and try and take it as far as we can. So.
Oh, but as I said, I keep going back to this. I know, but you haven't even played together for a year, and what you've done now, a lot of bands that's played for several years haven't even, put together the amount of content you have and played the amount of shows that you have, and are now recording an EP. Not even a year. That's super impressive, man.
Thanks. I mean, a lot of it goes to this guy. He's just been
for
putting
sure.
so much effort, and all of us have just been trying to keep up with him.
Yeah.
So,
Literally.
it's all him, man.
But that's great. Again, it shows not only are you all committed, but if you're sort of trying to not necessarily out better the other, but you all want to do well.
Yeah.
That's so cool to hear, man.
I think that's definitely one of the things I think I'm at the top of the group for, is in terms of pushing the others.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the one that pushes them most in being oh, we've got a gig this week. No, we're doing a gig next week as well. And then, no, we're doing a gig the week after that as well. Yep, we're just doing it. Or if we're writing stuff and it's a real tricky bit, I'm just no, we got this. We can fucking, no, you're just going to get good. We got this. So I definitely.
Discipline. I love it.
Yeah. But not even discipline. It's more just we all push each other to sort of just get the best out of each other. That's the thing. We all know that we can do it, and so it's just getting us to bring it out.
What he said, just bring it out. And as you just see it sometimes when the pure frustration, but once you get it at the end of the day, it's the release, when you nail it, especially with this music, because it can be so frustrating, because sometimes you can't really rely on feel, and that's what I do a lot being a bass player. I try it with Adrian on drums, the wizard himself. I'm what am I doing? It's just I've got to cover so much, but I've also got to add my own spices, because I've got these guys which are their spices as well, ridiculous. I'm so glad I responded to the Band-Aid ad as well, but I don't see myself doing anything else. It's crazy.
So how are you guys going to keep this energy going? Because this is quite unique. I'll tell you that. It's so unique to actually talk to a band that are so on the same page.
Well, that's it, I reckon. Just
I think we all really just know
Yeah.
We'll just know this.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do. We all want to. I guess this is I don't know about the rest of the boys, but it's one of the biggest things, if not the biggest part of my life, apart from studying. Passion-wise, it's definitely the thing that I'm putting the most time into, and so
Nothing comes close.
But so again, we got one that's going to become a math teacher. You got your cybersecurity course and stuff. When potentially would you be willing to sort of risk and say, I'm going to take a step, I'm going to give this fucking full steam ahead for a year or however, like I'm just trying to think out loud here. Like, what would it take for you to start saying, look, this is it. We're going to do it. We're going to try and give it our best shot.
I've been personally squirreling away for ages. I've been trying to get my foot in the door forever. That's why I'm setting up shows, hold perspective. So when it comes to that day, I know what goes in production wise, because before actually what goes into making a gig before we actually play is that's so much work and time that needs to be thought and needs to be put into that as well. And also the crew as well, who's got my back, the boys I've been working with, just who's willing to get up and go, that just keep surrounding myself with people that had the same ambitions or had the same goals and want to go places. And it's just positive attitude and just if you're ambitious, I have you in my life, I want to keep that positive attitude around. That's probably why we're all on the same page, because we're all vibing,
and you're absolutely right. There's so many levers you have to sort of pull at the same time. The whole stars and moon have to align and all that. But as long as as long as you are engaging with those people that can help you and support you and stuff, it's it's all up to you really. Just to keep believing, to keep following it. So speaking about production, man, I had the Hybrid Theories on last time.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Their production apparently is next level, man. I just bought a ticket to go and see them at the gig. They're playing in a couple of weeks at Badlands. There, they got Soran told me how the drummer has bought full screens, and he's bought more lighting gear than most of the big international acts and stuff. So they take their production very seriously.
Yeah.
That's another thing I think we're just about to start getting into is we're going to look at getting some some projectors and stuff set up for when we're playing. Again, I think because we don't have a singer, a lot of our when we're on stage, we try and make it as much of a show as we can, moving around and making it interactive for the audience. But
it looked pretty energetic on the first video anyway. You were going hard at it.
Yeah, but as I said, because we don't have the front man, we sort of try and keep everyone's attention ourselves. But I think one thing that will definitely suit our music is having some sort of projector with animation of some more visuals and stuff that we can play during our shows and stuff. I think that's what we're going to start setting up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Is there anything else that's sort of in regards to not necessarily live shows, but sort of moving forward and again, sort of the whole sort of frame of performing that would be on the cards? I didn't get your name, Mr. Bass Player, but you mentioned you were sort of setting up shows and stuff. You mostly have got a lot of sort of behind the stage, behind the scenes knowledge in regards to what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. No, sorry for just the production side. So I've done some weird stuff video and pyro, just hands-on stuff, and just fun. I don't know how I got into it really. Actually, yes, I do. It's just gigs itself. Talking to people that were actually in it, and I actually went to Parkway Drive and saw one of my mates that were gigging. I was like, "How did you get that job?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, just talk to me. I'll get you in." And that's just talking and word of mouth and actually working. Once I got my foot in the door, it's just yeah, let's just do it. Hands on, whole different perspective, and yeah, just it's amazing.
So what's the biggest thing you've learned after doing that job?
Just just help, like wherever you can, like always be on your feet, willing to help. Just have like good bubbly attitude as well, and like just keep head on swivel, like as you have to in the workplace. Like, but yeah,
I mean, there's so much more that goes into shows on the backside of it as well.
I've also done like VIP stuff, so that's a different perspective as well. Like, so I've been in like the VIP like section for Queen. That was when they were recently here. So they're like VIP like dinners and like plates, like just the tables. Sorry, like where they had like their own exhibition next door to the dinners where they're having dinner. Sorry. It's crazy, like setting up the bags, just you get to do random stuff. A lot of cardio as well, walking arenas, like that is a workout on itself. Like, and like public transport, like it's so accessible for everyone else except for you, because like you got to be there before the show, and then like after the show, like it's quiet, it's dead. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
But yeah, that's just the fun as well. Like, I could be more happier. Like, just music, man. I'm talking
look, there's another thing here that I've written that down as a little bit of a funny note. I remember when I was talking to Adrian a couple of weeks ago and trying to sort of set this up, and he was asking sort of what sort of interview it was going to be. I said, look, it's a fucking rock interview. You guys can say and do whatever you want. But he mentioned you guys had done an interview in the past where where something had gone wrong. You're sort of speaking a little bit about some stuff that might have, I don't know, if you offended someone or something. I would love to hear that story, man. If you wouldn't mind this, you obviously don't need to name drop anyone, but I'm just curious to sort of see what that was all about.
It was more just my stupidity. Like, it's just, I that's why I was hesitant to do this, just because I kind of hold back from saying stupid shit.
You can say whatever you want.
It was just like we had just like recorded this EP with someone that was like high up there for us. Like, we really looked up to him and still do, you know, like, and then had a great time, you know. And then I mentioned we just did drugs together, like on the podcast, like I don't know, or like just saying, oh yeah, we smoked like a couple of bonks together here and there, and like not the greatest thing to be like mentioning around, you know, like mention it after to him, and he wasn't impressed, but I think hopefully we're over that by now.
But that's like I had Amber down on here like a month and a bit ago. They were smoking bong, like Daniel was smoking bong on the show live. Yeah. I mean, like,
oh, fair enough. There you go. Cool. No,
and again, like I've had other people, you know, like drink. Like I had This Is Spud Gun on, you know. They were blind drunk at the end of it. So it's totally okay, man. Like I said, like it's not a kindergarten show. It's not like, we're not talking about jazz music or anything here. Like, you can do.
Yeah. No, the other one was more like an actual radio thing going live in people's cars, so I should have been like thought about it a bit more. But,
I love it, man. Good story, man.
Teaching grant briefing.
Another little fun anecdote here I'd love to sort of hear your thoughts about is how you actually got the name, because before you go into it, and so I'll throw in my little twist to this here first, because I did a little bit of research before we started.
Cool, yeah, cool.
And for whatever reason, there is Alchera Living, which is a retirement village here in Perth. So you can actually you can go into alcheraliving.com.au and guess what? That is a beautiful retirement villages with a place where you can retire if you're over 55. And I must admit, I had a little bit of sort of giggle to myself because obviously if you guys are sort of going to collaborate, maybe come out there and, you know, play some instrumental heavy metal to a couple of retirees, I thought that might be a new audience there, but
I mean, mate, if they want us there, 100% we'll be there. Yeah. We'll be playing the main show every night. Yeah, 100%.
Good stuff. But again, I assume, I'm just taking a stab here, that's probably not how you got the name.
No.
At least you did your research.
At least you tried. You tried to do the research. So the name Project Alchera it's like a reference from a really old game, PC game and Xbox 360, called Dreamfall: The Longest Journey, and Project Alchera was the code name that was used in the game by a Chinese company that made this little teddy bear that recorded people's dreams. And so they tried to take over the world with this little teddy bear, and the code name for it was Project Alchera.
Wow, that's deep.
And like that game was just like one of my favorite games as a kid. Like I still play it to this day. It's so good. And yeah, I don't know. The name's always stuck. I always liked it. I've used like Alchera as like gamer tags and things like that since I've used it like Alchera as like a gamer tag since like fucking I was 12, 13.
Cool, man.
Things, yeah. So.
Well, there you go. I'm so pleased to hear it's got absolutely nothing to do with a beautiful retirement village. So.
No.
Contribute into the logo though.
Yeah, I've got the logo. We've got that as a part of the song when we're playing the outro here. So
I was just making it funny though. Just like put the retirement village in the logo.
Oh yeah, well,
we could try.
maybe that could be a way of sort of getting a little bit of extra income. You know, if you could get a cut every time they sort of sell another apartment.
That's it.
Might have to cut you in because you gave us the idea.
Anything, guys. Like that's free advice, man. Cool, man. Before we head over and see, I just had a little bit of not necessarily a breakdown, but for whatever reason, it sort of rebooted this stream just before, so I might just see if I can go in and catch some of the comments here. Yeah. But otherwise, before we head over and have a look at see if there is any questions here. There's a segment that I ask everybody who's on the show, which again is if you guys would have any sort of tips or tricks or any good advice that you could pass on to bands out there. I know you guys have only been playing for a very short amount of time, but it seems like you actually have a wealth of knowledge already, which is super impressive. But if there's anything you can think of, by all means, the mic is yours.
I think even though like we've been playing together in this band as a short time, like I'm 26, so I've been drumming since I was like 9 or 10. And apart from like a couple of little gaps in between, like I've been trying to play live pretty much most of that time. So like I've been in the live scene and stuff like that. And so I think my biggest tip is to just like it's commitment, honestly. Is just like if you're going to get into it, and again, especially with something that you're already dedicating so much time to in learning and practicing and stuff, if you're then going to go the route of trying to perform it for people and stuff like that in a band, the biggest thing is having commitment to put the hard effort in to go to the shows, to help out the other bands that are at the shows, to do the networking and stuff like that, because that's what I think the biggest part of being successful, or like starting out and becoming successful, is the whole networking side of it. Regardless of how good your music is when you're playing, I think it's just how well you get along with the other bands and how well you just talk to people and interact with the audience when you're actually at shows as well is a huge impact on how
Very
well
true.
Yeah.
Very true.
What Adrian said, commitment, practice, most definitely. And like with live shows, like something's always going to go wrong, and like it's just like don't let it get to you. Like also when you're playing on stage, it sounds completely different to what people are hearing outside the front of the stage. That's what like perspective side, working on it, hands on, just like you gotta deal with that, like, and don't be afraid to ask what you want in your fallbacks, or like, that's their job. Like, if they're on their phone, like, tell them to get the fuck off the phone. Like, like, I personally, especially with this band, I'm not afraid to like take my bass and run up to the sound guy and just go, "What are you doing?" Like, turn me up. But but yeah, it's just like practice, definitely, and just like surround yourself with some good people as well. Because like before you know it, like we've been talking about music like since like we met all the boys, and like and it's never gotten stale whatsoever. Like we continue like talking about music. Like, how much time do you have? Like, we just love music. Like, yeah. Well, that's me anyway. Like.
Yeah, very true.
Advice wise, I'm not sure. Other than like, just putting in the effort. Really, a lot of people, I feel like they set their expectations pretty low for just in terms of music writing, and I feel like it shouldn't be like that. They should make it hard for themselves. Always try to push yourself over where you know you can go. Always try harder than when you think, and that's how you get better. Try new stuff, never definitely try to expand on things, but always try to learn new things. That's how you develop. And as much as we try to stay true to our sound, we always try to like change it up a bit as well. That's even more with like hopefully more electronic music stuff with the synths coming. But yeah, it's just trying stuff out, not letting it get boring to yourself is a big thing,
Fantastic.
Alex, any tips?
What you got, buddy?
My only like sort of advice would be like just don't miss opportunities in terms of. So I just always look back to the time where I applied for this really cheesy Rockstar hookups or something. It was like a really cheesy website, and I met the drummer from my other band through that. And you had to pay like a $10 subscription at the time. I think it's free now, so I got ripped off $10. But I was usually the type to just go, oh no, I won't bother with the $10. But I just decided, screw it, I'll just do it. And then I messaged Jess, and then turned out met the other band, and then I've met this band. So without paying that $10, I would have, this all would have never happened. And so it's just crazy to think that just don't hold back on those sort of opportunities. And my other piece of advice would be have a mate who owns a garage. And the car's a useful one. But yeah, that's me.
No, definitely. I think the whole, and that, by the way, all really good pieces of advice, man. But I think the whole part of having your own place, which again is also very unique. I don't think any of the other guys I've spoken to have had their own dedicated rehearsal room. But that is something.
Yeah, that's something like we were super lucky when we scored that. Again, that was just on Facebook. The guy, the owner of Foxhole. Chad Blondell, just put up a post on Facebook just saying like, there's a room available. You get like a PA, and I think that's it. Yeah, you just get a PA in the room. But yeah, it's so cool. We've got 24-hour access. It's soundproof. Well, not soundproof, but it's like it's got a good acoustic, so it's got like
isolated
and stuff isolated.
Yeah.
I think actually in saying that though, it's sort of, while it's like it's great to have it, I think me and Christian were talking. No, me and the singer from their other band were actually talking about it like a couple of weeks ago. But because we've got the rehearsal studio, it's a lot harder for us to start playing gigs because we're so used to hearing it in such a way. Because we've got such a good place
that's like catered for the sound.
That works so well for our sound. We're used to hearing everything so clearly. I can hear my drums so clearly. I can hear the bass so clearly. And so when we get on stage and play it sounds so different. It sounds like just playing to us on stage. It sounds so different
like,
compared.
I rely on a lot of cues either with drums or like guitar. And like if I can't hear it on stage, that's what I was saying before. Like I'm not afraid to run out to sound guy. I need more guitar. I need more like this. Like you definitely need it. Like when there's no like singers with like keywords, like, and you're completely relying on like melodies. And if you can't hear them and you're just like trapped in your own wall of sound, it's just it can get out of hand.
Oh, it's crucial.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah. But again,
having the one place has been like really good. I think that's been one of the best things that helps us write as well, as we can just go there, and it's like it's a place that there's nothing else there. When we go there, we don't have to worry about cooking food or anything like that. It's literally a place that we can just go to be creative and write our stuff. And
how much time do you spend rehearsing, both individual but also as a band? Now you have your own space.
I mean,
I think as this band we rehearse like two maybe 3 times a week. And that's like easy a couple hours each time, like 4 hours, 5 hours each time we rehearse.
I'm convinced he sleeps with his guitar.
But outside, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me actually. Like for drums, I don't actually do much rehearsing outside of it because it's at the studio. So I typically go there to play. I don't, like, my drums aren't at home sort of thing. That's not to say I don't. I have like gone a couple of times and played, but I think for me more solo stuff is like learning the synths now, especially. It's taking a lot more time doing that.
It all sort of like, it makes sense now. I can see why you guys have sort of advanced so rapidly compared to, you know, probably a lot of other bands that have been playing together for the same amount of time. Because if you've got your own space and you rehearse that much, you put the time and effort into it, of course that's going to pay off.
Yeah, well, definitely putting the effort in pays off. We've learned that. I think.
Yeah.
And investing our own time and money, like I keep saying, like it's just how it goes. Like,
you get what you put into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and also like, I think like if you mean it, you'll make it as well. Well, that's what I hope anyway. Like,
I suppose it's one of those things, you know. If you put in 100%, even if you don't make it, you can't have any regrets because you gave it everything you had.
For sure, yeah.
So you know, it's one of the things like you hear so many bands talking about, it'd be nice if that happened. It'd be nice if that happened. So. Well, it's not going to happen by itself. You got to put in the work.
Well, you got to respect Adrian for that too, because like he also thinks outside the box. Like I would never thought like
360 video. Or anything
but
like
to contact someone wedding, was it someone that did weddings?
That's it.
Video.
Yeah, so the guy who did 360, like the guy who I contacted for the 360 video, he originally did weddings and stuff like that and just like drone footage. He'd never done any sort of band stuff like that. And so like it was just a random idea. I was trying to think of where I could get like someone that does 360 stuff in Perth, and so like that was one of the guys, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna ask this guy. And he was super into it. Yeah, he loved it. Yeah.
That's so cool, man. But that's again another thing, you know, like, just ask. Like, what's the worst that could happen? He's going to say no. Or he's going to say, no, it's going to be $10,000. Oh, okay, no worries.
Well, like, that's what I mean. I asked, I think, 3 places. One place never even got back to me, rude cunts. But, I don't know what happened there. They just never got back to me. One of the other places said it was like fucking $3,000 or something like that. And then this guy got back. It was like, yeah, man, sounds like a wicked idea. I'd be super keen to do it. It's all yours for free. And so,
So hang on. So there's one guy so obviously the guy that did it for free. The other guy said $3,000 for what? Exactly the same?
Pretty much the exact same thing, yeah. Except I think I asked if he could do, instead of just filming it, it was going to be a live stream as well. But I realized like literally a week after that, I could have just like done the connection myself and set up a live stream. It's really not that hard.
I was about to say, you can buy a GoPro Fusion for like not even $1,000, man.
Yeah, exactly. And so like this guy came back with I didn't even reply to him. Like I didn't even get back to him. But
that sounds dodge, man. If he's gonna charge you $3,000 for shit, man. But look, fuck it, like again, it worked out for you, and again, so. And I hope it continues to do, man, because I think it's like you're definitely onto something, but you also have the passion and the drive for it, which is so refreshing for me to see and hear, because I said I don't see that often. So it's just so cool. Like, but there's so much talent in this city, which is just blows my mind, man.
So much.
Yeah. In Perth, like we really do have some of the best, especially original bands. Yeah, fucking
Karnivool,
Tangled, Skull Cave, Karnivool, Zora really cool. Yeah.
Broke up recently, bro.
What?
Yeah, no, I like followed them like on Facebook like straight after our gig, and they broke up.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit, that's
Who
devastating.
who is this?
Watercolor Ghosts. So we gigged with them recently in that sewing room video. Yeah, so they
Really?
played before us. I think they opened they played for us, and they announced that it was the last gig. And I don't know, I think it hit a wall and like came back the next morning because like I went to go and like find it on Facebook and stuff, and they're like, yeah, broke up. And I was like, what? I've still got them on Spotify, but I was just like, why? Like, you guys are good, like. Yeah,
but yeah, like it's so easy to break up if you aren't on the same page, because it's it's the same as if you're in a relationship, man. Like if you're with if you're with your partner and she wants to do something else and you want to do something else, like it's never gonna work. There's no point in staying together.
Yeah, well, especially life. Life is just so full of random shit happening. Like it's easy, especially if people aren't 100% on the same page. If something happens in their life, like if it's even a slight inconvenience, that'll just take them completely out of it if they're not, 100% committed to it. So, yeah, I don't know.
Sick, man. Now look, fuck. It's been so cool, man, to hear everything you've brought to the table, man, and your story in general. I really I really think like if you keep going like this, I think you can go places, man, for sure.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, man.
No doubt. I'm looking forward to hearing those studio recordings as well. So we're obviously going to finish off on one now. Before we do that, though, can you throw out a couple of shout outs to where people can follow you? Should they go to your social media pages? Over to you. Where should they go?
Yeah. So the Facebook is probably the one where they're most active. It's just facebook.com/Project Alchera. That's got pretty much all of our stuff, most of our events and show. Well, pretty much all of our events will be on there. There's also an Instagram page that I'm doing that's not as much stuff. That's just a couple of photos and a couple of videos that's on there. But Facebook's definitely the biggest place you'll find all of our stuff. Well, like when we release the singles in the next couple of weeks, they'll be through like Spotify and Bandcamp and stuff like that. But you'll be able to get through Facebook through to all of that. Yeah.
Get some merch happening.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the next
everyone's
thing.
been
Yeah.
hitting us up lately.
Yeah, we've been asked a lot about that. So shirts are the next thing we're gonna have. So.
That's good. Yeah, it's great that people are asking. That means there's a demand. So you just got to put up a web shop, man, and
yeah, well, I think that's
start directing people there.
That's half why we've been doing it organically. Is just waiting for. We didn't want to just go out and buy a whole bunch of shit if people weren't gonna want it. You know what I mean? So now that people are coming up and saying, "Hey, we want some stuff," it's at that point where I think, we're definitely ready. And same with the whole touring side of things. We're not going to go tour if we don't feel like we're actually wanted there. If people want to see us and stuff like that, then I think we'll start doing it. So
very, very important words.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But the thing is, and this is again why it becomes a little bit interesting, because you can obviously put some effort in to actually create an audience before you go. But again, it's time and it's money and it's more knowledge. But I'm sure Adrian will be on top of that. Because I was like, you got to sort of learn the whole digital marketing game and sort of find your audience and
that's a whole world.
But the real cool thing about that though is with the amount of content and the quality of the content that you're putting up, it would probably be very achievable, because you would be able to just keep throwing new content at the same audience. And that means the more, it's just exactly the same as gigging. The more you keep throwing the same updated audience, updated content at the same audience, more and more people will start to respond to it.
Yeah.
And then when they go in and check out your Facebook, by the way, have you considered getting a website? Or is that something else?
Not yet, again.
Not really,
because I'm doing everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Getting that, sorry.
But otherwise you could always the same people that you then throw it out, whether it's on Instagram and Facebook, it's obviously two different sort of demographics and two different ecosystems and stuff. But by the time you get that sort of coming back to you, then make sure you have a product there, you know. I had actually a really good stream for you to that might be worthwhile for you watching. On I think that was Tuesday at 12. I was speaking to he's actually my brother-in-law, but a guy who owns a social media agency here in Perth.
Oh, okay.
And he actually dropped a lot of really good truth bombs about how stuff like that works. There's also a free planner you can download. I think it's in the comments. Otherwise, you can find it on my page. I just scroll down. I can send you the link after here. Fuck that. Don't worry about that. I'll just send it straight to you. But anyway, stuff like that is something where you could then, you know, like by the time you start putting out that content, you can get them to, you know, hopefully eventually you're going to start coming back, checking out your page, and you on your page, if you then have stuff for them to buy. Or redirect them to your Bandcamp where you might have, you know, they can buy your album or they can buy some other merch like a cool beanie or a shirt or a hoodie or whatever, something. That's when you can start to start making some money and generate a remote audience. And then you can go tour there. That's a very long story. That's just what I wanted to say.
I think that's why, the biggest thing we need to focus on is getting the recordings and something that we can actually sell to people, like so that some like the people that do like our stuff and our fans can actually take back and then show their friends and stuff like that. Because it's a lot easier to just show someone a CD or a shirt than it is to be like, oh yeah, got to go onto the website and then go onto the find the video and so.
What was that?
But again, but it's all important, and that's the whole thing. Like you, the more you do, the more you increase your chances of creating revenue. Creating revenue increases your chances of escalating and building your band or building your business.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Let us see if there is so the whole thing is it's like because my streaming software. See, I'm sitting here and this is so frustrating as well because Facebook just changed over to this whole fucking dark theme and stuff. So it's just all kind of fucked up now. But anyway, so I don't really have any questions here. If there's any way we can go back and see them, but everything just got reset. All my comments here. So let's run over and get you guys to just do an introduction to the last song and finish off here with what was it called again? Let me bring it up here again. So that is Hollow, I believe.
Yeah. I think this is probably like
One of the first songs we wrote.
Yeah, again, one of the first songs we wrote. It's definitely one of our tamer ones. It's a lot more straightforward. It's not too techy for this one.
But still got a very nice, melody to it.
Yeah, I think it shows a bit more of the softer side that we're bringing into the newer, longer songs that we're writing.
That's more for the retirement living we're talking about earlier.
That might be right, but
Tame.
actually, hold on,
It does explode.
There's a heavy bit actually right when the chorus hits that might.
Spoiler alert.
Watching an old Western movie with like the TNT, the fuse, and it like doesn't like ready to explode, and it just holds on for a second, and boom.
Sweet, man, sweet. Now I'm looking forward to putting that one on now, and otherwise, so just on a finishing point, people should head over to your Facebook page. That's the main avenue if they want to follow you.
Maybe there's nothing.
Cover future gigs as well. Just do it. Build a community. Let's do it, boys and girls, and pets and
bring your pets.
Bring your dogs.
100%.
And any future gigs coming up? I think you said there was something that was in the works.
Hopefully in around December. Nothing. October. Oh, sorry.
October 31st is when we're roughly looking. It's not confirmed yet. But so the next gig will be October 31st. But then I think we're starting to record the EP October 2nd as we're going in to do some recording. So then it shouldn't be too long after that the actual EP will be coming out. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Keep me posted, man. Send me a link there when you got some gigs out, and I can share it on my page. And if I haven't got anything on, I'll make it down and check you guys out.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks
Thanks,
so much.
man.
Thanks for having us on.
Thanks heaps, guys, man. It was great fun. I really appreciate your time tonight and all your stories, man.
Thanks,
man.
man.
Thanks for having us.
We're gonna finish off on Hollow here. Take it easy and enjoy the rest of your night, guys.
Man, have
Cheers.
fun.
Yeah.
Cheers.